In lesson 1-6, we're going to be talking about algebra. Within algebra, we're going to be doing variables and expressions. Okay, a variable is when we substitute a letter for a number. So we can use different things for variables like x or t or y. All those letters can be variables. You can really use any letter to stand in place of a number. Algebra is when we start to substitute. So rather than saying 3 times 2 plus 4 as an algebra or as a numerical expression, we're then going to say maybe something like 3x plus 4. And that would represent an algebraic expression. So an algebraic expression is when we have a variable in our number sentence rather than just all numbers. The difference between an expression and an equation is an equation has an equal sign. So we call this right here 3x plus 4. We call that an expression because there is no equal sign. So I'm going to put that right here is no, or I'm going to say there is no equal sign. So it's a little bit better English. Ms. Pearson will like that. There is no equal sign. All right, the coefficient, okay, like in our example up here, I have 3x, okay? We say that 3 is the coefficient of x, okay? And coefficient basically means what number is being multiplied by the variable. So if I say, what's the coefficient? You would say 3, okay? It's the number right next to the letter. Now, if we're just adding, like if I'm saying 4 plus y, okay, 4 is not a coefficient. And actually, the coefficient of y is actually 1. We don't have to write 1 because 1 times y is just y. Okay, if we think about that, 1 times y equals y. Just like 1 times 9 is 9, 1 times y is y. So we don't have to write the 1, but if I ask you, what is the coefficient of y? Well, it is 1. All right, let's try some examples here. Now, for your homework tonight, you're going to see problems that look just like this. It says evaluate, which we know means solve. Evaluate t minus 4 if t equals 6. So the first thing you need to do is you need to copy the problem. So t minus 4. You're going to copy the algebraic expression. You don't need to write this part. That's okay. Okay, I'll expect you get that out of the book. But you do have to copy the expression. Now, when you substitute, okay, it tells you what t equals. So you have to write t minus 4, so that way I see what the original expression was. Now you substitute, okay, and when you substitute a number for a letter, I like to see you substitute inside of parentheses. So we're going to say 6 stands for t minus 4. And the reason why I like that is because it helps protect whatever you're substituting from any other symbols or signs or things happening to that letter. Okay, it also shows me as a teacher what number you put in for the letter, okay? Notice how I'm keeping everything lined up. The t, the substitution comes straight down, the subtraction comes straight down, okay? The number comes straight down. Now we can actually solve the problem using order of operations. So 6 minus 4 is 2, and that's our answer. Now, in your homework, you're going to do this on your notebook paper. So your first line is going to be copying the problem, t minus 4. Your second line is going to be 6 minus 4, substituting. And your third line is going to be your answer here, 2. So you're going to, for this type of problem, you're going to use 1, 2, 3 lines in your notebook to solve the problem. And this is how I expect to see your homework being done. All right, the next one, it says, evaluate 5x plus 3y if x equals 7 and y equals 9, okay? Now, what's happening between the 5 and the x and between the 3 and the y? I don't see like any addition or subtraction going on, okay? When a number is right next to a letter, okay, up here I'm going to write 5x equals 5 times x. Okay, that's what's happening. Just like 3y equals 3 times y. Okay, if a number is right next to a variable, we are multiplying those two. Okay, so first thing we need to do is copy the expression, 5x plus 3y. You don't need to write the rest of it, okay? I'm not going to make you write all of that. Next step, we must substitute. So 5 times, notice I'm going to put it in parentheses. Now what is x? X is 7 from right here. So substitute the 7 in, plus 3 times, what's y? 9. Okay, so we substitute it in. Now, obviously, I'm trying to come straight down, but mine's getting a little bit off. That's okay. You want to try to keep it as organized as you can. All right, now, order of operations. Over here, I'm going to write PEMDAS. All right, we don't have any parentheses. Well, we do. There are parentheses right there. However, there's nothing to do inside of the parentheses. So technically, it's just a multiplication symbol, okay? We don't have any exponents, so I can go ahead and cross these off if I want to. Next is multiplication and division. Well, I do have multiplication here and here, so let's do both of those. We'll go 5 times 7 is 35. Bring your addition symbol straight down. 3 times 9 is 27. Okay, and so we did our multiplication. We don't have any division, so now we have addition and subtraction. All we have is left is the addition. Okay, so if you need to, you can write this on top and bottom of each other, so you can add it a little bit better. Or if you want to, you could jump on your calculator and type this one in. So 5 and 7 make 12. We put the 1 up here. We put the 2 right there. Okay, and then we have 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 1 more is 6. So our answer, our total answer here is going to be 62, and that is the correct solution when we evaluate the expression 5x plus 3y if x is 7 and y is 9. So that gets us to our answer. All right, evaluate 16 divided by f plus 4. 16 divided by f plus 4. Okay, now this is a very unique problem. Okay, so over here I'm going to write some stuff down just to show you something. Okay, so if I write 16 divided by f plus 4, okay, and then if I write 16 divided by f plus 4, these two are not the same. Okay, they are not equal. All right, why? Because when you write division like this, there's a rule that you can't see. There's an invisible rule. All right, when division is written like this, basically you have a set of parentheses up on top and on bottom. Okay, so when division is written like this with that big division bar, and you have a numerator and you have a denominator, you have to evaluate the numerator by itself, which, since the number is 16, we actually don't need to do anything with the numerator. But the denominator has addition, so we need to substitute first and then evaluate the denominator before we can divide. And since we're doing that, basically it's telling us that we have parentheses, okay? And so if we think of PEMDAS, all right, since we have parentheses down there, we have to do that part first, all right? If you look at it this way, you would do the division first and then add. So this is not correct. You'd actually have to put parentheses around this and this for this to be correct, okay? So they are there. The parentheses are there. You just can't see them. They won't be written when you write division like that. So first thing, we need to write the expression, 16 divided by f plus 4. Now let's substitute. So we're going to write 16 divided by 4 plus 4, and you can put this in parentheses if you want since you substituted. I know I'm running out of room, so I'm going to go ahead and say equals, and I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to say 16 divided by, now you add this together, you get 8. 16 divided by 8 we know is 2, and that's my answer, okay? Now if you would have done the division first, you would have done 16 divided by 4 is 4, plus 4 is 8. So you would have gotten different answers. So you have to be careful, especially if you're typing this into your calculator, that you have to put parentheses around the denominator, okay? It's best to just do it by hand, do it step by step, and go all the way. Plus, I need to see this work. I have to see it for your homework. All right, so let's copy the expression. We go 5 plus a squared. Okay, then we substitute 5 plus 5 squared because a is 5. Now, PEMDAS tells us to do exponents before anything else, okay? We don't have anything to do inside the parentheses, so we go right to the exponents. So we're going to do 5 plus 25, okay? 5 squared equals 5 times 5. All right, and then now all we have left is addition, and so we can say the answer is 30, and we're done. Now notice here, this would take 1, 2, 3, 4 lines in your assignment to complete this problem. I do expect all those lines to get used. All right, our last example for today, the formula for rewriting a Fahrenheit temperature as Celsius temperature is 5 times, parentheses, F minus 32, all divided by 9. Now, what do you know about the top and the bottom here? We know that there are invisible parentheses. We have to do the top first before we can divide by 9. Where F equals the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. Find the Celsius equivalent of 99 degrees Fahrenheit. So, copy the expression 5 times F minus 32 all divided by 9. Okay, now it looks like this is a difficult problem, but really it tells us what to put in right here. This is what you will substitute for F. So let's rewrite it. We're going to go 5 times, now you're going to put 99 in there, minus 32, all divided by 9. Okay, now do this step by step. All right, so I'm going to get my calculator out, and you can do that as well. All right, so we're going to do 99 minus 32 first, and that gives us 67. Okay, so we're going to write 5 times 67 all divided by 9. Okay, now I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down here. All right, mine's getting out of order. If you're using your notebook, you should go straight down, not left and right like I am here. I'm just running out of room. Now we need to do 5 times 67. So I'm going to use my calculator. I'll do 5 times 67. All right, and I get 335. So let's write that for the numerator. We're going to get 335 all divided by 9. And finally, I can go ahead and divide by 9. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and hit divided by 9. And we get 37.2. Okay, and that will round down because 2 is less than 5. So we're going to say 37.2 degrees Celsius because it told us to find the Celsius equivalent. So the answer then is 37.2 degrees Celsius. Again, we were just following order of operations. Okay, PEMDAS. All right, you have to do what's inside the parentheses first. So we did that. We found 67. Then we multiplied up here. Okay, and then once we had a numerator and a denominator, then we could finally divide to get our answer, 37.2 degrees Celsius. All right, and that was our last example for today, so be sure to check the Moodle page to find out what your assignment is.